buy property as long as you knew what you were doing. Since publishing the first edition of Property Magic in February 2008, the property market has crashed, then recovered, and changed so much that I decided it would be useful and important to frequently update this book to ensure that you, the reader, have the latest, most relevant information as to how you can successfully invest in the UK property market. The edition you are now listening to is a 6th, revised and fully updated 10th anniversary edition. Although the contents are mainly about investing in the UK for people who are either based here or investing here from overseas, the basic concepts of finding and helping motivated sellers work all over the world. Before we get into the main content of this audiobook, I think it would be useful to set the scene and explain what has happened to the UK property market and what could happen so that you fully appreciate why now is such a great time for you to be investing in the residential property market, as long as you know what you are doing. Property cycles. The UK housing market is cyclical, just like every other market. It goes up and it goes down. The long-term trend in the UK is up, due to the reasons I will outline later in this chapter. The fluctuation in house prices is due to short-term changes in supply and demand, which are influenced by factors such as interest rates, availability of finance, government legislation, the media and the effect it has on public sentiment, level of employment, and the economy in general. When investing in property, many people apply a policy of buy low and sell high, a strategy borrowed from the stock market investing. While there is nothing wrong with the concept behind this strategy, as you will certainly make money if you get it right, I have two fundamental issues with it. Number one, it is very hard to establish when a market is truly at the top or bottom. So my view is, why guess when it can be risky if you get it wrong? Number two, I much prefer the idea of holding property long term to benefit from the significant capital growth rather than taking short-term profits by trading property. There are also tax benefits to holding rather than selling, which we'll look at in Chapter 1. What causes prices to crash? The UK is a relatively small but popular island with not enough housing to accommodate the increasing population, which is why the long-term trend in prices is upward. So why did the growth in property prices start to slow in 2007 and then crash in 2008? Essentially, this was due to a combination of a fall in demand and an increased supply of property at the same time, causing the fall in property prices. There was a boom in house prices from 2001 to 2007, mainly fueled by the ease of obtaining finance. In this period, many people who were previously unable to obtain mortgages were suddenly able to buy their own homes. Bad credit was not a problem, and even those who were unable to prove an income were able to self-certify, which meant simply declaring that they could afford their mortgage payments. As well as the increase in home ownership, there was a greater awareness of how to make money from property, sparked by the plethora of television programs which brought the idea of property investing to the general public. The increased availability of investment or buy-to-let mortgages made it very easy to borrow money to buy investment properties, with lenders offering up to 90% loan-to-value for buy-to-let mortgages. Towards the end of this boom period, as prices shot up, investors found that although rents were rising, they were not in line with the increases in property prices. It soon reached a point where investments just didn't stack up because the purchase prices were too high compared to the rent that was achievable. This inability to get property to stack up resulted in many professional property investors deciding to stop buying. The other group of individuals who usually fuel the property market are first-time buyers, who also found they couldn't afford to purchase at the higher prices, and so